What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now I'm gonna make this short and sweet. I got shit to do. Time is money. Moves to make. I want to talk about Danny Garcia real quick. Danny Garcia, in my opinion, has probably worse than I've seen in boxing, and I watched boxing for a while. Had this kind of evolution in his career where a lot of people didn't give him credit. They didn't give him chances against Amir Khan, guys like Zab Judah, Eric Morales when they fought the first time. They didn't give him a shot. You know what I'm saying? And he kept showing up and rapidly moved through the ranks by being the underdog in those situations and coming out on top. Then, in recent memory, I would say his last two fights, fans have just recently turned on him. Like, not respect him, calling him cherry picker, just tagging up his social media and stuff like that. Because they resent decisions he's made. They think his attitude towards the Herrera fight and rematching him, he's just like, oh, challengers don't get rematches. I won 8 rounds. I'm like, no, you didn't. But, you know what I'm saying? Just that demeanor. Then fighting Rod Salka, someone in the lighter division who wasn't ranked, etc. So to me, I think Danny Garcia, he's trying to take the Mayweather route, but it's a lot of differences with that. And what I mean by the Mayweather route, I'm talking about Mayweather, how Floyd Mayweather embraced the role of the bad guy. Now, Floyd Mayweather is, if you think about it, the perfect villain. He's a black man, and he has this cocky attitude. But the difference between when you see guys like Adrian Broner who did things that was like kind of like he was like trying to emulate or mimic Mayweather, I think Mayweather was just being Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? People forget that he's really from the hood. You know what I mean? Detroit is not the safest place or the nicest place. There's a lot of poverty, crime rate, and stuff like that. And I think Mayweather more or less was being Mayweather. He was tired of not getting credit from the Larry Merchants and the Jim Lampleys and stuff like that. And when it really came out to play when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, he's like, yeah, I stole your back. So what? What you gonna do? Like, what you gonna do? I'm gonna fuck you up. You a pussy, dog. And he was just in Oscar De La Hoya's face. And it was at that moment, that's where he really just, you know what I mean? There was no turning back. He just really gave it to Oscar in the fight build up and stuff like that. And Oscar is a clean cut, all American type of dude. He's a Mexican American, but he's an all American, like wholesome kind of guy. You know what I mean? He's nice. He doesn't do like much with the trash talk. He had his little thing with Fernando Vargas, but that's not his demeanor by and large. You know what I'm saying? So it was more of a contrast. But with Danny Garcia, it just doesn't seem natural. I think Danny Garcia really is just a fighter. He has heart. He's a warrior. And I think he's more or less a humble kid who is kind of playing a role. Like, you're playing a role. This isn't you. You're playing a role. Anyway, he posted this just now, and he said, girls like cherries, feel me? So, to me, that's signifying you're trying to embrace the role of a cherry picker. All these fans are calling you a cherry picker, and you're trying to embrace the role. But that's just not cool, man. Like, me personally, I would try to make the Rod Salka and the Herrera loss. You won, but it was a loss in my book and a lot of other people. I would try to make those things distant memories. You know what I mean? I would just try to move past it. But instead, he's kind of like trying to play this villain role and act like he's not fazed by it. Like I told you, he responded to me, made the video about that. He responded to me like, you think I care about comments? Challengers don't get rematches, blah, blah, blah. And I don't think that's him. I think he's kind of playing more or less a character. I think he is really a good dude, a humble dude, and he's a quiet. His dad was the talker. His dad, Angel Garcia, was the one who was like, take that motherfucking Janet Jackson hat off, Zab. I speak the truth. The truth. Like, Angel is the rah-rah type dude. I don't think that's Danny Garcia. So, I really think he is a skill fighter, and he's going about it wrong because he's trying to play this villain role where it worked for Floyd Mayweather because that's more so his personality. He is a flamboyant, cocky, kind of asshole type of character. But with Danny Garcia, it's kind of backfiring. The other last thing that I will touch on is Floyd Mayweather, as much shit as he talks, for 18 years, nobody has shut him up in terms of like just completely embarrass him. People hold on to the notion of Maidana landing a shot, and if Maidana had more time in the third round or if he had landed it earlier, which he didn't, Floyd's recuperative power, he recovered from it pretty nicely. You know what I mean? He had one rough round after that, and then he went back to take over the fight. So from a skill set proven point, Danny Garcia, I consider him a great fighter, but he hasn't proven as much as Floyd Mayweather. and I don't think he's as skilled and as at this point as much of a complete fighter as Floyd. So that's another reason why playing this villain role, it kind of backfires. You don't have an impeccable defense that no one can penetrate for the most part. You know what I'm saying? You don't have, like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of his best performances weren't necessarily 100% dominant performances. I can list some Floyd Mayweather performances where he just dominated, like Gotti, the fucking Diego Corrales, Canelo. Those are dominant performances because, you know what I mean? He didn't really have a scratch on him, and he looked real good. Danny Garcia has great performances, but he struggled with Amir Khan early. Then he did his thing, landed that punch, and changed the tide. Zab Judah, he was dominating, but then he let Zab come back strong, and Zab is known as a 4-round fighter, and Zab won those last 3 rounds and even hurt Danny Garcia, busted his face up and stuff like that. Mauricio Herrera did the same thing, busted his face up. A lot of people thought he lost. So the only dominant performance he really had in recent memory, the Eric Morales first fight, wasn't dominant. You know what I mean? It was a competitive back and forth fight. Rod Salka, and you were supposed to do that. So I think he's going about it all wrong. I think Danny Garcia should just really focus on his career and just make this a distant memory. That's my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think of Danny Garcia embracing what the fans are calling him, a cherry picker, and his newfound quote-unquote villain approach. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.